what can someone do with your license plate this year? Of course, I'll be talking to you about identity theft, but most specifically about your car and what can someone do or not do with your license plate this year. So here are the facts I want you to pay attention to. One thing for sure, fraudsters cannot find out your social security number or other sensitive information from your license plate number alone, that's for sure. But they can actually use it to scam or impersonate you. And that's why you have to have a clear idea about how things work nowadays. And in the last 5 years, especially during COVID, the government has actually talked a lot about a resurgence of, let's say, license plate impersonation cases, okay? So criminals can use stolen license plates to commit fraud, cover their tracks during a crime, or rack up fines in your name. But do you face the same risks if all they have is just your license plate number? The reality is that things can be a little murky here. Most people will not be able to access your sensitive information with just your license plate number, but that doesn't mean that you should not ignore the threat, because in the wrong hands, your license plate number can still provide information that scammers could use, let's say, to target, impersonate, or even track you. So what I want to do here is that I want to explain to you how those scammers can do what they can do specifically with your license plate number and what you can do to protect yourself, okay? So what information can someone get from your license plate number? Let's talk about that first so that you have a clear idea about the kind of topic I'm talking about. Now, your plates are visible to anyone who sees your car in person or a photo of it, that's for sure. However, simply knowing your license plate number will not give scammers access to any real sensitive data about you. And under the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, the DPPA, unauthorized people cannot access personal information from a license plate or motor vehicle record, okay? This information includes what? Your social security number, your name and address, your driver's license number, and more. The DPPA is responsible for protecting drivers. It's really illegal to make false representations to obtain driver information, and any failure to follow the DPPA can result in criminal charges, fines, and even civil claims for actual and punitive damages and attorney fees. Now, let me give you a few warnings here, okay? So, what can someone do with your license plate number if the DPPA is kind of protecting you? I mean, is the DPPA protecting you 100%, or it's just that piece of law is protecting you, let's say, 50% or 45%? So, while the DPPA protects your sensitive data, it's important for you to really keep in mind that there is still some information that can be shared via third-party license plate lookups or through the Department of Motor Vehicles, including vehicle make, model, and year. So in some states, third-party license plate searches can reveal basic information about a vehicle. You also have the VIN number. So a vehicle identification number, a VIN number, is actually a unique code assigned to every motor vehicle and can sometimes be found during a license plate search. You also have a home address. So private investigators may sometimes access home addresses through third-party vehicle registration search services. However, those searches are subject to state laws and restricted to authorized individuals or entities. You also have a fuel economy or engine capacity. So license plate searches may provide a vehicle's fuel economy or engine capacity. So you can see that you have a lot of granular data here, okay? You also have natural damage. So this is really good to think about. So some third-party services provide vehicle history reports, including damage from natural disasters, and some fraudsters may use this information to aid false damage claims. You also have mileage history and maintenance, so you can access a vehicle's mileage and maintenance records to evaluate its condition and understand if there are any major issues. You also can actually tap into the driver criminal history. So police can run license plate checks for police reports, stolen cars, and prior convictions. However, this information is typically unavailable to, let's say, to the public via license plate searches or through the DMV. You also have basically accident history. So some vehicle registration search services can tell you whether the vehicle was involved, let's say, in a hit and run or a collision. And you can also have a repo history, a repossession history. So with certain services, you can search for a vehicle's financial and ownership background. So you can see that you have a lot of info here. Okay, that's a lot of data there, a lot of intel. So the bottom line is any information that is tied to your identity can potentially put you at risk of identity theft and fraud. So when it comes to your license plate number, the best thing you can do is regularly monitor your identity and financial accounts for fraud. That way, you know if something were to happen, you can actually preempt it. Now, there are cases wherein someone can legally run your license plate number, okay? And I want to talk to you about that because then you can have a clear idea about the let's say the ecosystem, okay? The realm of possibilities here. Now, the DPPA strictly prohibits DMVs and third-party services from disclosing your PII, so your personally identifiable information, like your address, phone number, or driver's license number. So the authorities are really, really, really strict about that. The government is not allowing anybody to disclose that data. Now, the authorities can only share such sensitive data if the person specifically consents to its disclosure. So if you actually consent to its disclosure, then yeah, they will actually will do so. However, in some cases, running a license plate is a perfectly legal and common practice. For example, insurance providers working on insurance claims or law enforcement agencies conducting investigations, they can actually run your license plate, not a problem. Now, the level of access and what someone can do with the information linked to a license plate depends on who is seeking it, right? If it's a police officer, it's not the same sort of access that the same access that the police officer will get as opposed to an insurance underwriter. So the following people can run your license plates and obtain your sensitive information. So you have police officers, DMV employees, private investigators, and license plate number lookup websites. Okay. Now they cannot access DMV records. Most only pull data from public records, and some websites are run by licensed PIs, so private investigators who can access more information than the general public can. So this is important to really think about things that way. So private investigators can run a check on a person's license plate to find information like vehicle owner addresses. And if they have legal reasons, they can also find property holdings, bankruptcy records, criminal records, and sex offender registrations. So this is important to really think about it that way. And DMV employees can look up license plate information, but they must follow DPPA and other state regulations. They can only release information from motor vehicle records for specific purposes, for example, motor vehicle or driver safety, theft, or destruction of property. Okay. And police officers actually have more authority. They can use your license plates to check your personal information, contact details, insurance data, and criminal history. Police can only do this if they have a valid reason for an investigation, and they cannot share information with third parties. So what are the risks here? We are still having a conversation about what someone can do with your license plate number. So I want to share with you a few risks here that for you to really have a clear idea, the extent of the quote unquote damage that could potentially happen. So there are a few risks of someone doing stuff with your license plate number, playing shenanigans with your license plate number. So first thing is the person can use your license plate number in a phishing scam. So if scammers have your license plate number and contact information, they can use these details to personalize a phishing scam. For example, they may call or text you and claim to be from the DMV, starting from the fact that you actually owe fees or fines for traffic violations, and that there will be a warrant issued for your arrest if you don't pay immediately. So using your license plate number in a phishing scam can make it seem much more realistic and create a sense of urgency to make you panic into sharing sensitive information or even transferring money. Okay. And so that's the first scam that's really prevalent these days. Another thing that you need to really think about is that someone can impersonate you at the DMV to steal your sensitive information. And with some social engineering, a scammer can use your license plate number to trick DMV officials into sharing more sensitive information about you. Okay. The imposter can actually contact the DMV via phone or email and probe for more information about your license, vehicle, or other personal details. And this is happening like crazy. So if you believe, I mean, by the way, if you believe someone else is using your DMV license permit to steal your identity, it's important that you report the theft ASAP. Okay, ASAP. Don't wait any longer. Do it ASAP. And you can report fraud to the DMV by going to the official website of your state's DMV office, or by contacting local law enforcement. Also, somebody can create a fake plate by using your number, for instance. Okay, imagine opening your mailbox and finding a letter stating that you must appear in court for a crime you know that you did not commit. That's crazy, but hey, listen, it happens. Scammers can steal your license plate registration number and assign it to another car, known as number plate cloning. Okay, so dealing with the consequences of a stolen license plate can be scary and frustrating. And in most cases, you'll need to pay for new plates, or even worse, hire a lawyer to handle the legal and financial consequences of someone using your plates for criminal activity. That's really bad, but hey, listen, it is what it is. And also, somebody can use your license plate to find out your home address and other private information. This is this is the big one also. So scammers can use online license plate scanning services to target victims for future scams. It's possible nowadays to use this online services to check vehicle license plate number information in certain states. And during COVID, I mean, it was really crazy, like 2019, 2020, 2021. A lot of scammers were using this service like crazy. So someone could abuse this service to find out where a car owner lives, if they have traffic violations, and even where they have traveled in recent months. Someone could use your address to run various scams, including Amazon brushing scams. Also, somebody can use your license plate data to track your movements. So a hacker who knows your license plate number could trace your vehicle's movements on public databases, or by exploiting the car's GPS. So while these types of surveillance may seem like scenes from a movie, the intrusion of privacy is a real threat. Especially, imagine if you have kids, if you have minors in your house, the threat is really even more direct. In 2022-2023, for instance, flaws in a popular GPS tracker could have enabled hackers to remotely track, stop, and even take control of vehicles. So the thing is, if someone knows your license plate, you become a viable target, especially if they want to steal your car or even immobilize you as part of a larger plot. So, you know. So the big question is, can you hide your license plate number? Unfortunately, no. I mean, right now the law is pretty clear on that. I mean, all 50 states have the same sort of standard uniform law. It's against the law to hide or obscure your license plate number. All states require that drivers keep their license plates visible and legible. So the same goes for products designed to obstruct license plates, like acrylic or resin reflective gels, smart stickers, or smart glass license plate covers. So in most states, it's against the law to attach anything to your license plate that would make it unreadable or obscure. So don't do that. Don't go in that route. Don't try to do anything there. Okay. Basically, you are able to reduce your risk of identity theft and also vehicle identity theft or number plate cloning. Okay. So the bottom line here is that your license plate is only a small risk to your identity, right? The potential damage that a scammer can cause with your license plate number is very small. However, not safeguarding your license plate number can actually open you up to further scams and potential fraud, especially if criminals manage to get other personal information like your social and home address. In all cases, it pays to really secure your identity from criminals and fraudsters. Okay, and so you have a lot of ways to actually protect yourself in online and real life. But I want to give you 7 ways to actually do so this year. The first thing you want to do is you want to limit the personal information that you share online at all times. A good practice is to limit the personal information that you publish on social media, for instance, or even online in general. Okay, this precaution makes it harder for scammers to use information like your license plate number to scam you or uncover more sensitive data. Also, update your social media privacy settings. So ensure that you are not exposing personal information on social media, like your phone number or home address. Also, be cautious about friend requests or messages from people you don't know or have never met. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but hey, listen, it is what it is. And also, you want to secure your online accounts with strong and unique passwords. Strong passwords are actually the cornerstone of online security. Don't use easy to guess passwords like your kid's name or your anniversary. Instead, you want to create complex combinations of letters, numbers, and symbols for every account. Very important. If you want to really avoid somebody doing stuff with your license plate number, you want to also enable a two-factor authentication. And so this is going to be very helpful in the long run. So two-factor authentication actually is a security measure that requires a second verification step in addition to your password. So adding a fingerprint scan or authenticator app to the process makes it harder for hackers to take over your accounts. And don't click on links in suspicious emails, text messages, or social media posts and direct messages, DMs, okay? If you receive, let's say you receive a random message from someone claiming to represent a company, it's best to do a Google search and contact the business directly through its official website. Never follow the links or phone numbers in unsolicited communications. And also, you want to keep your software updated. This is an important element, especially when it comes to you having an all-in-one sort of security protocol. So keep your software updated and enable also, whenever possible, auto updates. A lot of viruses and malware and ransomware, for that matter, exploit issues in old versions of software. So protect yourself from, let's say, cyber attacks by switching on automatic updates to stay in line with the most current patches and upgrades. And this is going to help you, especially in the long run. And the last thing you want to do is to actually consider signing up for an all-in-one identity theft protection provider. We have actually covered this on this show and other shows. The thing is that when your security becomes important, not just your security but your family's security, then you might want to think things. You might want to take things a little more proactively. So instead of waiting for identity theft to happen to you, you can just maybe take the step right now and really sign up for one of those services and actually pay like $20 or $15. I mean, you saving money, because when your identity is stolen, I mean, we're not speaking about you losing $20 or $30 a month. You might lose actually thousands of dollars or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the financial profile of your company. So it's all about being proactive. It's all about having a preemptive approach and making sure that you are seeing things right before they happen. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about what can someone do with your license plate number. I give you the facts, the warnings, the risks, the pro tips, the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.